pretty unfortunate news this past weekend. Pretty shocking. Announced that, yeah, and I saw it through Pitchfork first, which is actually pretty interesting to see the way that they posted it. But
Mhm.
Sophie tragically died, the music producer, creator, singer. Um, the way Pitchfork, I think, tweeted it was something along the lines of like, Sophie has died or something like, and people were just like, wait, what? Like, it
Mhm.
was like no pretext to it, just kind of like this happened. Reports have come out that she had gone on top of her roof to try to take a picture of the
Yep.
full moon,
Just an
slipped,
accident.
fell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just accidental. And it's pretty tragic because Sophie, while not having a huge you know uh, musical output in terms of her own albums and singles, she does have quite a bit of music, but not, I'd say, large output. Really making her first album in 2017, um, has just really had a huge impact on the shape of pop music,
Mhm.
and the direction it went in the second half of the 2010s. Um, just what are your just first general thoughts about Sophie and this obviously tragic passing?
Yeah, I mean, well, the nature of the passing, she was what, only 31, was
Hmm.
it? 34. The nature of the passing reminds me a lot of like Anton Yelkin, like just a freak
Mm,
accident, just incredibly tragic, and
wow.
just
Okay.
sad. But I mean, I never really done the full dive on her personal music, her solo music, but I was very familiar with her as a producer. As a name I feel like you
Yeah.
would see all the time, just as someone who was thought of in high esteem, even if she didn't end up having credits. It seemed like she was just often at like studio sessions for
Hmm.
a wide array of artists. But obviously, I think the main like mainstream person she was most associated with would be Charlie XCX, particularly a few projects back. Once Charlie really started to take off around Pop Two. Um, and actually, my favorite song on Pop Two is co-produced, co-written by her, Out of My Head. Um, and then even like you'd see her kind of pop up once in a while, like Big Fish Theory, right?
Hmm.
Definitely a uh, shall we say, departure at that point for in sound for Vince Staples. One of those songs, one of the most eclectic electronic sounding songs. Yeah, right. Produced by Sophie, and you just when news came out she passed, the wide array of people in the music industry that were struck with grief and sharing how much esteem they had for her is pretty evident.
Yeah, it's obviously incredibly tragic, but I think as you think about uh, Sophie's legacy, and you mentioned Charlie XCX, who is a, a steadfast pop star at this point, maybe one of the most revered pop artists critically, at least.
Yeah,
Um, it's hard to imagine Charlie being at the point she's at without Sophie's influence, and um,
he's a lot of Charlie credits, a ton.
and it's just kind of insane to think about all the pop output we've got, and that's gone in this direction. And you think about like someone like Gex, who
Hmm.
has grown on me, and I know that you stand pretty hard. um,
Super
it's
pop.
pretty hard to think about them being who they are without someone like Sophie. So just a huge loss because an innovator in this field, and describing her sound is just like almost impossible. You listen to a wide array of her songs. Immaterial, is such a different song from It's
Hmm.
Okay to Cry, but both are just so unique and yeah, one of a kind. So huge loss, rip to Sophie.